Good day, Makilinians! Hello, grade 9 students! How are you today? Join me in welcoming this day with a brand new learning experience. I am Ma'am Noe, your virtual mathematics teacher. In this lesson, we will focus in describing proportion. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to define and illustrate proportion. Solve for the unknown in a proportion. Let's find out what you already know about proportion. There are different sets of ingredients in preparing buko pie. Given below are the ingredients for pie filling, which is good for 8 persons. 1/3 cup cornstarch, 1/2 cup coconut water, 1/2 cup all-purpose cream, 3/4 cup sugar, and 4 cups young coconut meat. If you are asked to prepare for 24 persons, how much coconut water is needed in preparing the filling? That's right, we need 1 and 1/2 cups of coconut water. Another activity. Which of the following pairs of pictures is an example of proportion? Is it pair number 1 or pair number 2? Correct! It's pair number 1. In geometry, two objects are said to be similar if they have the same shape, even if they are in different sizes. An object that is similar to another can be created by uniformly stretching or reducing the same amount in all directions. When we recall the definition of ratio of two numbers, it is the comparison of two quantities. A ratio can be written in different ways. As a fraction, using the word 2, or using a colon. The order of the ratio is important, so quantities should be written in the order they are listed. Moreover, the ratio can be reduced to its simplest form. The following ratios can be reduced to the same value. 6:9, 30:45, 4:6. And their simplest form is 2:3. Ratios that can be reduced to the same value are called equivalent ratios. Now, let's talk about proportion. The equation stating that the two ratios are equal is called a proportion. In symbols, it can be read as A is to B as C is to D, and A is to B is equal to C is to D. In the proportion A is to B as C is to D, the outer terms A and D are called extremes, while the inner terms B and C are called means. To solve for the unknown length, we often use the properties of proportion. Here is the fundamental rule of proportion. If A is to B as C is to D, then A is to B as C is to D, provided that B is not equal to 0 and D is not equal to 0. This is the cross products property of proportions. In the proportion A is to B as C is to D, multiply A and D equals to the product of B and C. Here are the other properties of proportion. Use the proportion m is to n as 4:7 to complete each proportion. For the answers, we have letter A, m is to 4. Letter B, 7 is to n. Letter C, 7 is to 4. And letter D, 11 is to 4. Example number 2. Find the value of x in the following proportions. For letter A, 9 is to x as 15 is to 20. Solution. Apply the cross multiplication property to solve for the value of x. We have 15x is equal to 9 times 20. Simplify, we have 15x is equal to 180. Then applying multiplication property of equality, the value of x is equal to 12. Solve for x in x plus 3 is to 4 as 9 is to 4. Another example. Solve for x in x plus 3 is to 4 as 9 is to 4. Using cross multiplication property of proportion, we have 4 times the quantity of x plus 3 equals to the product of 4 and 9. Simplify using distributive property of equality, we have 4x plus 12 equals 36. Then apply the subtraction property of equality, we have 4x equals to 36 minus 12. Simplify, 4x equals 24. Then applying multiplication property of equality, the value of x is equal to 6. Another way to solve for the value of x is using notation columns. In this notation, the product of extremes is equal to the product of means. The product of extreme is 18 times x and the product of means is 6 times 15. By equating this product, we have 18x equals 90. Apply multiplication property of equality. The value of x is equal to 5. Okay, Makilinians, grade 9 students, let's see if you understand what we discussed today. Let's try this. You are going to solve for the value of y in the following proportion. Very good, class! You really learned and understood what we have discussed today. Now, let's try another one. Solve for the unknown in the following proportions. Students, remember that ratio is a way to compare two or more quantities. The ratio of A to B can be written as while A proportion is the equality of two ratios. It is an equation in which there are ratios on both sides and can be written in two ways: as two equal fractions or use of columns. In the proportion A is to B equals C is to D, the outer terms A and B are called extremes, while the inner terms B and C are called means. We can use either of the notations in finding for an unknown in a proportion. The cross-product property on proportion, along with the other properties of equality, is very helpful in solving for the unknown in a proportion. Very good, grade 9 students! Hope that you will apply what you have learned about proportion. Thank you for your active participation. Stay safe and healthy. God bless. Till next time. Bye.